Let me know, what's your favorite sci-fi movie past 2010? Mine has gotta be Arrival. What's going on, guys? My name's Leo Rydell, and go ahead and hook your brother up with the HBO special. Y'all know what that is? That's the Help a Brother Out special. Hit that subscribe button, ding that bell, and like this video if you enjoy videos on the latest in movies, TV shows, with a sprinkle of anime and gaming. Today, I am here to review Chaos Walking, and, you know, not as bad as Valerian and the City of Lost Planets, but not as good as Arrival. Guys, let's dive into this one. Starting off with what works. Tom Holland and Daisey Ridley. I thought they had really good on-screen chemistry together. I liked the two characters, Todd and Viola. They kept me in the journey, and they really kept me roped in because, let me tell you, I'll get to that a little bit later in the things that don't quite work, but I do like their characters. I like that Todd and Daisey form a bond that isn't really typical because, as you know from the trailers, Todd has never seen women, so there's definitely a relationship that buds off of that. I'm not going to say whether it's romantic or not because I don't want to spoil, but there's definitely some things that bud off of that. Another thing that works really well is the actual noise itself. I thought the way that they actually use CGI to personify and actually mystify the voice and make it this mist that could be heard and seen was a pretty cool concept. I liked that part of the lore. I thought that was really cool. I was like, oh, okay, all men's thoughts and voices and their inner beings can actually be seen and heard and almost felt even. It was just pretty cool. I liked the sound design that went into it. I thought it was like such a cool concept and I wanted to know more. So let me dive into what doesn't work and what makes this movie, unfortunately, not too great. What really doesn't work is the writing, and the writing is not fleshed out enough to flesh out characters, lore, motivations. What's really upsetting about this movie, in my opinion, is it has a very bare bones approach to this story. This is actually based on a trilogy series of books that explores this story through 3 different novels, and it seems to cram everything into one movie. So unfortunately, certain things are sacrificed, specific character motivations, specific lore fleshing out. I wanted to know more about the actual noise. I wanted to know more about this planet that they're on. And it just seemed to me that these were grave details that they just grazed over or barely even mentioned. And then there were characters whose motivations just made absolutely zero sense, in my opinion. There was just a lot in this movie that I think really needed to stop, take a second, breathe, explain, then keep going. I think the pacing may be too rapid because it doesn't stop to really explain itself that much. So that's why the writing is the weakest part, but I would even branch off of that and say that the world building is pretty weak, the lore is pretty weak, the characters are pretty weak. It's very unfortunate because I think Tom and Daisey really keep you in this movie, and I think that their story and following their journey through the movie was pretty interesting. I wanted to know more about them and about the lore, but unfortunately, it just doesn't really dive too deep, and that's what's really the biggest negative for me, is it just doesn't really dive beneath the surface. And I would have loved for it to just elaborate and give us a little bit more, give us some more lore, flesh out characters more, but unfortunately, they're very bare bones, very basic, and they keep it really tight and easy. And there were other aspects that I liked and didn't like. The cinematography looked good, wasn't great, wasn't a standout or anything like that. The score, didn't really notice it, admittedly, so I guess that could be another weak point. Another thing that didn't work is I really didn't notice the score, and so it wasn't dynamic, it wasn't drastic enough, it wasn't present enough. So that's another thing. And then I really would have loved some more guns blazing, some more like shooting, and some more like sci-fi battles, but I know that's specific to certain stories, and it's not really, it wouldn't have lent much to this story, but I wanted to see some more CGI. I wanted to see some more special effects, more effects, and just a little bit more fleshing out of these characters and things like that. But Tom and Daisey do keep you in this movie, and they do their journey and what they're going for to get Daisy's shit back, to try to get Daisey to contact her people. I thought that part of the story was pretty good, and I really liked that. But there was just so much other stuff that fell on top of that that unfortunately just didn't do too well. As I said earlier, no fleshing out of things. So that for me is really what brings this movie down so heavily. Just expand, guys. Just elaborate. Give us a little bit more on these things. Just the bare bones feel of this just didn't really lend to it for me. So guys, I'm gonna have to give Chaos Walking a 6 out of 10. I thought it was a decent sci-fi entry, and I thought it had a lot of potential, but the lacking of character motivations, no fleshing out. The pacing was good, but it was almost too quick that it just didn't actually elaborate. So I wish I could say more, but I don't want to spoil, and I feel like if I do say too much more, I'm gonna run right into spoiler territory. So guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Are you going to see Chaos Walking? I would definitely suggest it for my sci-fi fans, but if I had to answer, should you see it right away? Should you wait, or should you not see it all? You can wait for this one. You don't even have to go to the movie theater, to be honest with you. And unfortunately, due to not really elaborating that much, I can't really sing too many praises about it. But guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Are you gonna check this out? And what's your favorite sci-fi movie past 2010? Let me know your thoughts, and we will see you next time on Geekly Goods.